Alex from Southern Adelaide wants to know what support is available for emergencies.
So an emergency is when a carer has an urgent situation and they can't actually continue to support the person that they care for, and that person can't be left alone. So it could be that something that's happening within the next 72 hours. Then we'll put supports around the person that the carer normally, their loved one. We'll put the supports into the home, or we'll find residential respite for them so that they can have that emergency respite.
So do you have to go through that whole assessment process when getting an emergency?
No, so in emergency situations, if someone isn't already connected with the Carer Gateway, we will gather a minimum amount of information to safely put those supports in place. But then what we'll do is, once that emergency has occurred, we'll be working with the carer and supporting them to look at what they need longer term, so that they may not end up in some of those emergency situations again.
Thank you. So just leading on from that, Chris from Southern Adelaide wanted to know, in relation to the emergency, how long it lasts for and what's the cost?
So we'll put in the supports that are needed in that immediate situation, and then what we'll do is, so say if the supports came through, an emergency happened on a Friday, we'll put the supports through till the Monday lunchtime. Then we'll start working with the carer and the family that's around to go, what else is needed if the carer can no longer care because they're still unwell. So it's not a definitive amount of time, it really varies depending on what the situation is.
Okay.
I think there may be around the cost, the cost to carers. So the services that are provided through the Carer Gateway are free of charge. There is an opportunity for carers to make a contribution or co-contribution if they have the ability to do that. But I think that's one really important thing for carers to understand, and people understand, is that the previous system was very similar. Is if you had the ability to make a co-contribution, you could, but you don't have to. That's very much the same with the Carer Gateway and the services that are being delivered. So exactly the same in that instance.
Okay. Then how would you work with other systems like NDIS or My Aged Care in those situations?
That's a good question. I was actually just thinking of that as Dave was giving his response. So if services are required for a longer period of time, what we'll be doing is exploring if the person that's cared for already has an NDIS package or My Aged Care, and we'll be looking at the supports that are needed through that next period, and how the Carer Gateway and what the carer is eligible for might supplement what's required there. I think what's really important here is to understand the Carer Gateway is actually around the services that support carers. So often people will come to us or other service providers, and what they're coming for is actually around the person that's cared for. We really concentrate on what supports the carer most in their role.
And it probably is a challenge, Sean, that one of the things that we've been facing over many years is how we make or how we support carers in connecting with those other systems better. We know that doesn't work particularly well all the time, so we're talking to government on an ongoing basis to try and have some influence into aged care and into the disability sector, to try and ensure that the services that we can provide to carers can actually complement what is happening in aged care and disability. It's not smooth, and it hasn't been smooth for a while, but it's something that we haven't lost sight of, and we keep talking pretty strongly with the federal government about.